Hello everyone, and thanks so much for tuning in to today's video interview. Delighted today to be joined by Martin Gilchrist. Martin, thanks for joining us today. Would you like to start just by telling people about yourself and your business?
Thank you very much, Tony, for having me today. I'm delighted to get the opportunity to join you. My name is Martin Gilchrist, and I am the practice manager at an accountancy firm called Gilchrist & Co. Chartered Accountants. We're based in Belfast in Northern Ireland, and we look after, primarily, professional people in independent practice.
So I know you're a big believer in helping people, reciprocating and so on. Do you want to just start by telling me about what, the reciprocation principle means to you? What is it that you believe in?
Reciprocation in business is as old as businesses. It's been there since the beginning of time. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. However, what I really believe about reciprocation and thinking about reciprocation, you should really try to do stuff for people, do stuff for others, without any expectation of reciprocation, without direct expectation of reciprocation. Because at the end of the day, we all have this radar. And we can sense when people are trying to sell us or manipulate us or make us do something that we wouldn't otherwise do. And if you go out with the point of view that I'm going to do something for you, but at some stage in the future, I'm going to need that back. I'm going to put it in my little black book. It doesn't work as well. So what my understanding, what the reciprocation principle means to me is try and find ways, legitimate, credible, useful ways, to go out into the world and make yourself genuinely useful for others. Not because you're expecting something back directly for that task, that opportunity, that product, but because you know, in the greater scheme of things, doing those sort of generous, voluntary, creative, fun things will ultimately pay themselves back, and not pay themselves back one for one. If you go out and do that, you'll tend to find that you get paid back tenfold over the scheme, over the term of business.
It's really interesting you say that, Martin, because I launched this video initiative earlier this year, precisely with that in mind, and the amount of referrals and recommendations and actual direct purchases it's brought us from people we've spoken to has been incredible, but every single call we've entered into, with no expectation of anything like that. So a real believer in that myself as well. From your side, can you give me some examples of the kinds of things you've done to help your business community where profit wasn't the primary goal, but you went out and did something anyway?
Yes, absolutely. I'm 47 years old now. I don't know where all the time has gone. I know. I think you must be around that yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I knew there was something special about you. That means I'm halfway through my career. I've been in business now a long time. I've been doing this a long time. When we set up Gilchrist & Co. almost 15 years ago. So I have had years and years to have opportunities of going out there and doing stuff for the business community that isn't directly about creating a profit for Gilchrist & Co. And I could pick out, I could give you tens of examples, but I'm going to pick three. The first one was, and I was very proud and honoured and privileged to be elected to the board of an organisation called Down Enterprise Park. It was a local enterprise agency, a country-based local enterprise agency just outside the town of Downpatrick in Northern Ireland. And the reason I was so proud and privileged and happy to be elected into that voluntary role wasn't because of the opportunities it would give me at Gilchrist & Co. to expand my client base, which is obviously something you could do. You can get your face out there, you can get to talk to a lot of people, you get to get through an awful lot of doors. But really what it was about was it put me in a position where I could bring businesses together, where I had the resources to provide the facilities to bring small businesses together to work on a collaborative basis and to make things happen for the benefit of businesses in that region, but also for the community more widely. And I found that it did take up a bit of time. There were challenges involved in it because when you take on any sort of leadership position like that, there's always going to be challenges. Anybody that's taken a leadership position will know that. But the rewards in terms of job satisfaction, the connections I made, the friends I made, and this was a number of years ago, are still paying dividends today. And some very interesting projects came out of that, such as setting up a co-working space in the Enterprise Park, upgrading the broadband infrastructure, and creating a business networking community, and all of that sort of stuff. So that was somewhere I was elected into a position that gave me great benefit. The second thing was I was asked to assist with an organisation called Business in the Community. And Business in the Community is, and maybe you're familiar with it, I'm not sure if you've come across, it's a national organisation, but what my role, or the thing I was asked to do, was to assist people, individuals, which was my niche area, that particular thing that I like to help with, individuals that were in business that just needed a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction, maybe a shoulder to cry on, that little bit of motivation or help that sometimes you need in order to keep the train on the tracks. And again, it was brilliant because I got to meet people that I wouldn't meet in a business sense. When you're a chartered accountant and you're providing professional services, you have to charge a professional fee. Otherwise, you're not in business. You do a lot of training, your professional indemnity insurance and your practicing certificate and all the stuff that goes with that. It requires you to charge a fee. But what Business in the Community enabled me to do was to go out into the world and to help people that genuinely needed assistance and not to have to charge them a fee. And nobody felt there was something, I didn't feel like I was, being silly and daft giving away my professional services for nothing. And the people I was helping didn't feel that there was some sort of reciprocation required. They knew that this was part of the game. And finally, one of the, I've done a lot of things. I've organised a lot of events over the years, but one of the really joyful events that I got to be a part of was when we were coming up to our 10th anniversary at Gilchrist & Co. I work with my wife, Michelle. She's actually the principal in the practice, Michelle Gilchrist, FCA. And we decided to do something to mark the occasion. But we didn't want it to be just about Gilchrist. We didn't want it to be, come look at us, aren't we great? We've survived for 10 years and we've done great stuff and we'll have a great practice. We didn't want it, well, maybe we did. We wanted it to be a wee bit like that, but we did not want it to be all about that. So what we did was we came up with the idea of creating an event that we could invite maybe 60 or 70 people along to in Belfast. And we had it in an entrepreneurial campus called the Ormeau Baths Gallery. And it's a hub for business startups. It's an absolutely fantastic location in Belfast that we had a connection with through our activities. And what we did was we invited a team of about 9 people, and all of those 9 people were owners of their own businesses. They had a load of different skill sets. And we asked them if they would collaborate with us on pulling together an evening of information and entertainment and collaboration and networking. And effectively the hook was there was going to be three talks about micro-marketing for businesses. So I spoke about how Gilchrist & Co. used referral networking and reciprocation and those ideas to grow the business. A guy called Andy Jarvis, marketing expert, spoke about how to use social media in marketing. And a great young man called Kyle Gully, who is a digital nomad internet entrepreneur who has been incredibly successful, spoke about the ups and downs of that journey, about how it's not all shiny and glorious and there are tough times as well, and how you go about becoming a digital nomad and working all around the world. And what it did was none of those people were paid. I didn't charge anything for the tickets. The event was packed out. We could have sold tickets and it still would have been sold out. It was a very, very popular event. It went on for an evening, and the feedback I got from that everybody that went to it had a fantastic time. It wasn't just about talks. There was breaks for networking. There was food, drink, and all the rest. It was a great evening, and that's the type of stuff I particularly love to do under this idea of the reciprocation principle. What can you do without expecting direct reciprocation?
I'm very conscious of time, Martin, but I would be eager to learn from you what kind of wins you've ultimately seen from that.
Very briefly, the network that we have now created around us at Gilchrist & Co.